Hello world, it's JWP, J.Ward Primo Beats, coming to you live from my bedroom. I'll be continuing a piano jam. I started on January 25th. So moving into that, I just finished up drums. All I have to do is lay out the tracks now. So I'm in fact going to get these on separate tracks. In fact, I could just delete those for now. And zoom out. I want to get things a bit more in line here. Let's start making room. No clue what happened. Everything just went all wonky. Alright. And let's grab everything, shift it back. Let's get these moved down, this moved in. Again. It's supposed to sit on top here. And this sits out on its own. Alright. These are looking harp V, bass lead, there's 4 and there's 5. That's fine. Let's get these drums in now. Oh, where does everything go when I do that? Just shift down 1. Really? What's going on there? And drums V, just the last half. Well, that is a chorus, case of chorus, last half. And verse, just get the verse here. That's another chorus. No real changes. And again, drums V here. Yep. Chop that down. And as far as hi-hats go, getting kind of sick of hi-hats and tambourine. If it needs something else in the high end, I'll deal with it then. I am at 5 minutes-ish. I'm gonna get into some mixing here. It looks like the drums are broken again. Reload. Hopefully this recovers because I didn't save. Nope, it doesn't look like there's gonna be a recovery there. That's unfortunate. So I gotta do a whole bunch of lining again. And let's go revert to last back up here. Let's see where I left off. And the waiting game. Even update my ticker, my display. Yeah, it did. Let's see how far back the organization system is. It looks like it's not too bad. Since we still got drums in here and there, so yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, so why can't I move anything here? Go in manual, I guess. Let's make some room. Alright, back to where I left off. I'm gonna make a quick save. Alright, that's done. And round again. I'm betting Moto Drum probably crashed. No, still running. So saved and doing mixing. At this point I can do some volume angling here. Drop this velocity back down. Not even any sort of readout or anything. It's already full blast. And I want to turn down this. So you can't even hear it anymore. But that's fine, everything else is gonna come down as well. So let's get in there and do that. It's 3, well 3 is supposed to be hi-hats, but yeah. Why does everything feel so loud? Let's make it louder. Good thing there's a compressor on the stream. We're getting some neutron happening. That can come up a bit more. In fact, just do some muting here. At about 40. What are those velocities looking like? That's reasonably loud. I don't know what's going on there. So let's pull on that velocity a bit more. Maybe 60%. Let's close this off so I can see what I'm looking at. Model. Velocity up. Really wish I had a readout for that. Or at least a reset. So that looks at about 60th there A last tweaked. Tools last tweaked. Moto drum volume multiplier. So type in value 0.6. Is that in fact what I'm controlling last tweak? Type in value 0.8. No. Don't know what I'm controlling at all here. Volume multiplier. Let's give it a wiggle. It goes at 0.69. Set. Don't see anything moving. No, it's locked to that. Okay, so it's 0.69 was where it was. Volume multiplier. Whatever, that looks like 6. Mapping. Snare position control. Snare left, snare right. What are those microphones? Whoa. That's not good. Oh, MIDI monitor, okay. Not specifically what I'm looking for. Playstyle. Okay, this isn't back anywhere. So yeah, that's a bit more reasonable. Press AB to start. What's up? What's happening? Press AB to start. I am just in the en route to mix. So I gotta bring in my levels before neutron. Looking pretty high. What is going on with you? Model. Bring this down a bit. One about -3. Do you stream much? Do my best to stream every day. Lately I've been, I say, low spirit, low energy, so I haven't really been acclimated to stream as much. This is a project I started on January 25th, so in order to finish it off, I have to stream it. That's one of my rules for myself. Jim, just chilling, probably gonna have dinner soon. Me as well. I used to do practice every day, although I haven't been able to move on from G major. I want to move into B major, as it's more melodic and probably one of the craziest keys there is, as it mostly contains black keys. Do you use Streamlabs OBS? No, I use just regular OBS. daily streaming is an achievement on its own, indeed. Get a whole lot of broadcasting practice in. And generally just talking to yourself. But it's good to voice what you're doing to yourself, I guess. People want to tune in for that. That's whatever. Okay, on to snare. The snare is honestly quite weak in OBS or in Moto Drum. I mean, it's full blast and it's still coming out quite weak. What's in the equalizer? Nothing. What kind of presets? No presets. Love it. Wait, what's going on there again? Gain, frequency, on. So it's just on for no reason. Okay, so yeah, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. I might have to bring down the bass drum just to equal things out here. Okay, so doing that. And let's go negative, say 6, I guess. Yeah, that looks okay. Looks more even. And what was the balance? Centered? Yes. Alright, so still needs to come up. Ooh. Just those. Deal with everything else as I move into it. Well, OBS slobs are pretty much the same, LOL. I did notice though that you are streaming in 1080-60. I just wanted to mention that it might be beneficial to lower your broadcast setting when Twitch traffic is high, which is now they only allow their partners to have multiple stream qualities. Yes, this is something that a surprising number of people don't have good enough internet to stream 1080. This is something that someone else has brought up in the past, and honestly, I don't really stream for the traffic. I mean, I appreciate it, and I appreciate people popping in and stuff, but I'm not one of those streamers that's like really cares. And I'm not going to compromise on quality as these are ported to YouTube. So yeah, I'm sticking to 1080x60. If ever I do become a affiliate, then I'll get transcoding. But until then, I just don't feel that my stream is super awesome where everybody needs to visit and check out. And if people can't stream it here, they really want to see what I'm doing, they can hit up YouTube. But no, I won't compromise on quality. That's just my stand on it. Alright, so... But I appreciate you letting me know. I have had people mention that before. So I need to come up some more. Let's go about 36. Probably, the main reason I stream is for the pressure of staying focused and not running off to Facebook or talking in a forum, or it just helps me stay focused. Oh, I didn't know you were porting to YouTube. However, I'm pretty sure OBS has canvas resolution and a stream resolution, which I assume you can downscale the stream while also saving the quality version. I'm not sure about that though. Yes. What you're saying, what you're talking about, I believe, is recording. I directly stream, I don't record. Twitch does have a automatic port, not an automatic port, you have to push turnkey it, but Twitch does have its own back-end port system to YouTube, so I prefer to use that, opposed to, because I use an SSD, I don't want to be constantly writing to my hard drive. So I'm pretty much just writing to my RAM and then straight into Twitch and then straight out of Twitch through the cloud into YouTube. So I'm maintaining the life of my computer by not recording to my hard drives. You would have to test that though if you care to, otherwise just keep doing what you're doing. In the past I did record my streams to my computer and then upload them directly into YouTube, but then I discovered that Twitch has its back door, not a back door, but a back port, so I just use the back port. Okay, so we're looking okay for levels here. It looks like Snare's a little bit louder now. Yeah, that's fine. We'll drop some neutron on, and I obviously have a vacuum going in my background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic and I'll press AB to start. How long have you been using FL? 20 years. And you'll have to excuse the vacuum. I don't know if my nectar's cutting it out. Probably every time I talk the vacuum cuts in. Okay, so I'm going to bring on percussion, kick up front, intensity high, and go, and then I can drop that window, come on here and drop on another neck neutron. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna mute the mic until the vacuum goes by because it's starting to get closer and closer. sure if the vacuum's gonna make a comeback here. I'll start talking again and it'll be back. So yeah, I moved through most of the instruments, moving on to, I believe, the final, no, besides the lead. So this will likely be not specifically a pad, but it is more of a lead. It is a synth. I'm pushing everything to high intensity. I'll get that one warm, and then I can just control the output gain afterwards. And this is another synth lead. Because in the past I have attempted to use the other intensities and it just ruins things. This actually has to be timed. Let's get in here and fix up the timings. So what's your goal with music creation? That is an honestly good question. In the past it was to actually become a professional musician, although it's been 20 years and it's just not going anywhere at this point. So my birthday this year, I'm planning on leaving the music scene and just focusing on health, family, life. So no real goals. Maybe I'll push a couple of my last things into the market. I do have an album uncut, so. But yeah, other than that, that's it, that's all. That's all she wrote for 5 years. Music will always be there, my youth won't. Now let's move these into half steps. Oh, that looks like that went wrong. Gonna still make music as a hobby or drop it entirely? Well, like I said, it's been 20 years, so dropping it entirely, ignoring it out of my life for 5 years. It has been devouring so much of my time and life, and no, it's gone. It's time for me to take a break. I am not having fun anymore, and someone else put that into perspective for me. That, I mean, it should be fun, and no, I haven't had fun since about year 5. So these intros actually have to be swapped out. Everything else looks like a step. Okay, so let's just go step, quantize, and everything's just pretty much a step. This lead, it doesn't really have a lot of sustain. Well, I wish you the best on your health, and well, thank you. Just appreciate it. And again, I gotta swap out these intros, so what is that? Get over there. And lead, and these actually have a bit longer notes. This is the second chorus, where things start to get a bit more lively. Other than that, you should certainly be having fun. If it's not fun and it's not your living, then what's the point? For me, it's a challenge. It's one of the hardest things, one of the hardest markets, I suppose. But yeah. But no. It's been 20 years. Obviously, I didn't make it. So it's time to dip. And here is verse 2. This is just a quick outro. Let's give these half beats. And then these guys steps. And I have to bring in this pattern here for the rhythm, which comes from the bass. Let's grab this and just start pasting it anywhere and everywhere that the lead performs it. So it looks like right off the bat, under an A. Up. And what is this? a C. So there, and then moving down, down, down. Next pattern. Oh, that looks like the same thing, so I'm gonna just chop this stuff out, chop that in. Let's go here. And to E, next pattern. And C. Yeah. Pretty sure that was 1, 2. Chop that out. Oh. Don't know what happened there. What do I have on the clipboard? A whole bunch. Okay, so I need this part back. Into the clipboard. Drop that on A. Does it appear anywhere else at the end here? Cut that out. And under the E. I know a lot of people who do things because they enjoy the challenge. I personally don't experience any satisfaction by simply by overcoming a challenge unless the process to do so is rewarding in itself. Some people will torture themselves to beat a challenge because they feel good beating it. I got into music probably for all the wrong reasons. It did start out, you know, fun and experimental and stuff. I was a big stoner when I was younger, and I moved through heavy metal and rap and hard styles. So a lot of my roots were really, how do you say, rough type genres. And the people that went along with it were pretty much the same. And now that those people are out of my life, I feel like I'm dragging hell with me. So yeah, it's time to put it down. Maybe coming back and re-examine it. Who knows where my life will be in a few years. And this looks like the last piece. Yep. All right. So leads in, drums are fine. Where am I here? I was on that secondary. And of course, this isn't my template, so I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of routing. Do some naming for now anyway. BD, SD. So if this hasn't been successful, what do you do for a living right now? That's funny. RHOITHM. This is ARP1, ARP, and ARP2. This is ARP2. Rhythm ARP. Okay, yeah, because this is lead. What did I miss? Bass rhythm ARP. Bass rhythm ARP1, ARP2, lead. Bass rhythm ARP1, ARP2, lead. Well, why? What? 10, 4, 5, 6. What's on 7? So there's absolutely nothing on 7. Okay, so rerouting. Let's push this to believe this way and call that ARP2. And this is now lead. Delete this. And bring that on to 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so where's that volume level? Ooh. ARP2 get its thing done. apparently. Let's put this down a bit. Let's actually turn it on. Are you successful enough to get by like a starving artist? I was under the impression you weren't really anywhere by the way you were willing to drop it entirely. Really no comment. The market has just always been so vicious, and because of COVID, there's no opportunity to do any live performances. I've always been rap, which has often been looked down upon. I've never done any live shows, so it's just the bottleneck has become the cap, if that makes any sense to you. And honestly, I've never really been commercial. Out of the $100,000 I've spent on music, I've probably only made 50. If that puts it in perspective. And it's always just been bootstrapping. So that's on a level. Okay, I can bring in Neutron. And make this a synth lead. We'll bring that warm, high intensity, of course. Alright, time for span. And check the levels. Actually, not span. I need tonal balance control, which is a visual. Mixing. No, oh yeah, I forgot about this. I should actually be using this. So let's get that out of there. And I'm going to mute the mic. How am I doing for time? 38 minutes. I'm going to mute the mic and switch out my headphones here. Put on the cans and take off the headset because I'm moving into mixing. Mic check. Okay, I just have to restart my driver. Now that I'm in the cans, I can start using Morphit. And this whole time the stream has been ass backwards. My bad. Oh well. And bring on your beats. No limiter. Check my level so I'm not bleeding my ears here. It's a little bit on the loud side for me. Okay, so lead has already done its thing, but it is crazy loud. So let's bring that down. 6. Alright, and then I need tonal balance control, which is under mixing, mastering. Whatever feels like loading, I should in fact save version. Fair enough, to be honest. I think when it comes to any entertainment type career like music, I think the actual quality of the performers isn't even the most important aspect. Some of the most popular music, for example, can be pretty devoid of talent. But with the right marketing it's still a hit. Granted, you still have the rare cases of talented people coming out of nowhere, but it seems musicability is one of the least important aspects of profiting from music. Well, in all of my hundreds of jobs, probably literally hundreds, maybe around 100 different jobs I've had along my life, the 3 different levels of successful are: number 1 is favoritism, number 2 is nepotism, and unfortunately number 3 is professionalism. That is just what I've learned. So if you want to make it, you have to become a favorite, or be family, or be professional enough to just take the shit people shoveled on. But we're not talking about the market, the capitalist world. We are looking at getting some levels here. So, span running, where is everything sitting? So, R2 is totally blurry. And I gotta do some naming. Jump on ARP. It's probably simply 1. Call that ARP. 2. And lead. From there, I believe I can discern what the instruments are from the list. Let's just start murdering levels here. So let's drop this ARP down to 18. ARP 2, same thing. 18, that's pretty much where I want it. Piano, let's put that down to -6. Lead, this is just something I want hanging out in the background, so let's go -22. Whoa, too much. Or is it 21? -21, okay. Your about says you are an audio plugin developer. Does that require a lot of knowledge in programming? I use Visual, so SynthEdit and Flowstone. There are lots of other things. I've been rocking with SynthEdit for probably about 20 years. From what I've actually walked away from it, the only thing lately is my frequency shifter, which allows me to change the route of the bass drum. It's not on the market right now, as it is currently experiencing a little bit of difficulties, and I don't really have time for it to bring it to the market. And honestly, nobody will buy it. So I'm sure there are other frequency shifters. This one, in fact, I integrated it. You pick the note and then you can shift it, and it'll give you where you want to be, which I haven't seen before, which I wanted. Makes things a lot faster. But yeah, SynthEdit is an acquired taste. Flowstone is a super technical acquired taste. Other than that, you're looking at C++, Juice, foundation work, or the like. Yeah, it does take a lot. So where am I at now for levels? This bass is sitting. I want to be at -24 there. Bass drum needs to come down a bit. -3. Of course, I don't even know why I'm paying attention to levels. All my velocities are all over the place. try that now. So, looking at bass drum first, let's max that out, reset, blast, and drop them down to say about 78%. And that did nothing. Try it again. Say 75%. Do we have any beside each other? Let's go select odd. Okay, and we'll drop those by an additional 15%. Doesn't look like quite enough. Let's go 20. And the verse. Scale levels, set, blast, and scale levels, reset, drop 15%, and select none, start by odd, and drop those 20. Tool, scale levels, reset, 20%. Contrasts, yeah. My snares are still sticking out though. Just work on the snares. Tools, scale levels, full blast. And we'll drop those down to 75 again. The tools down the road will handle everything else. What's the hotkey for that? Alt Y? No. Alt X? Yeah. Reset, full blast. Come on. And Alt X. Reset. Dropping by 15. And I got some more consistent levels here as well. I have to do a whole session of dynamics. At 49 minutes. How do you make the volume of a finished song right? How do you make the volume of a finished song right? When I make music and export it, my sound will just be below the max volume, but when I play back the final song, it's very quiet compared to professional songs. Is that a part of mastering process? Mastering, what mastering is creating a master. There's a lot of debate on the definition of mastering. Some people believe it's mixing. Some people think it's some magic power that people have. But for me, mastering is creating a master, which is your final output. Now, when it comes to mixing, that's a whole different ballgame, because mixing is sort of part of mastering. Yes. Is it part of mastering? Yes, but it's also part of the mixing process. What I do is I mix against pink noise. So if I brought in a sample of pink noise, you'd be able to see that it would be equally distributed across the span. And in order to do that, I don't think you can see this on stream. No, you can't. Under the settings, I have a slope which is set to 3. Normally, slopes come out at a bit different of a slope. But pink noise is equal levels distribution throughout the entirety of the spectrum. See, if we're looking at it like this, the slope is kind of sloping down. The new functionality of parametric EQ, pivot slope, this is 4.5 decibels per octave. And if we go to 3, it did nothing. Pivot slope. Okay, I'm not sure what this one's doing. But you have to, what I do is I mix against pink noise. And that's equal distribution across the frequency. It's just a reference. And then from there, we have, you see all the instruments here. From there, I pick where I want things to sit. The balance is just across the spectrum. So I can make everything balanced, but I'd find that my high end would kind of start eating up most of the mix. And in contrast to loudness, that's when you start to get into your compressors. So if you want everything just loud, prepare your ears, because I'm going to throw on Maximus. And we're going to go max loudness. Now, this is probably your commercial standard here. Turn this off. It could be better. But what I used to do is I used to bring out everything pretty much at like -2. Now I've learned to bring things out at like -3, -6. And then I run it through Ozone. And in Ozone there is a multi-band compressor. There is also a maximizer. And this is a bit different from a multi-band. If it ever feels like loading, Ozone is such a slow poke. Okay, so yeah, it just helps get your levels where you want. And then the standard of today, different broadcasters have different standards. So your loudness integrated, they hand out these things like -14 and stuff. I prefer -9, which isn't really where I target. I target at momentary -6. Right now I'm at 19, which is just me pre-mixing. Why is there a neutron here? Oh, that's the wrong channel. Okay, so just my bass drum is at -18. But if you're finding you want your tracks louder, that's something you're going to have to determine for yourself and learn the ropes of, say, multi-band compressors and loudness and compressors. Whereas things like Neutron have their own compressors and stuff that use the smart algorithms to determine where things need to be. I used to do a lot of pre-mixing on myself, but nowadays I don't. Yeah. This can go. Another thing to consider too is when you start looking at your stereo spectrum, you're going to get your loudness is going to increase because the mono channel is now spreading into a stereo channel. So the perceived loudness is going to be actually louder than the monitored loudness. My bass drum's still too loud. Yeah, I don't really use a compressor, so maybe that's what I should do. If you do start using your compressors, I suggest looking into tutorials and stuff. There's 2 different ways to use a compressor. One is to bring out the tone of a sound. So I'll turn off Neutron here, and we'll go into Dynamics and 3D Limiter. So the tone of the sound. Let's go. And I right click and go Drum Compression 1. Now it's changing the sound. And giving a consistent output. The other way of using a compressor is stacking it on top. So say there's variability here. Just heading over to a play channel and go pattern. Jump on the bass drum. Give me step and step. Do some painting. And then we'll go select every odd, tools, or select odd, delete those, just so it's not like super repetitive. And then I shall go tools, LFO. Now this is affecting the velocity there. It looks like I put 50%, that's fine. But then again, I have only really used GarageBand. I like to use FL Studio, but COVID really hurts the finances, I imagine. So yeah, now there's variability. I'm definitely not trying to make a career out of music too, so it's not exactly a priority to buy FL. That's on you, man. So the input is now changing along with the output. And let's get a more consistent level to feed the compressor. You see it just drops right out. You can go before the compressors and max loudness. Now this compressor is always getting a consistent level. I mean, this is over exaggerated. But yeah, what you're talking about loud, that's loud. So I'm gonna remove those. Turn neutron back on. Neutron actually has an equalizer as well. And looking at span. And that's not my beat, so let's go back to the beats. Still too loud. Tonal balance control. Strip -9. In fact, I'm going to start bringing in the auto EQs. That'll give me a better idea of what's happening. How am I doing for time? 59 minutes. Not sure if you're still there. Press AB to start. I'm thinking I shall be pushing mixing onto another session. This is the end of the night for me. For this, I was really hoping to tackle it, but it's going to require some major attention for mixing. And for velocities and all the wonderful stuff that go into my compositions. I will be back to finish up some of Cameron's live-in work. I got some feedback on Twitch and they suggested that I tighten things up, so I'm going to go in and do some of that. So yes, this is the end of this stream. I am going to get my munch on, I think, before coming back. Perhaps maybe I'll just push streams till, yeah, I'm done for the night. That's it for me. Tomorrow is guitar, so I'll be tackling that. So I'd like to thank press AB to start for hanging out. I hope I shone some light onto some of the stuff you had questions for. Have a good night. You too, sir. Or ma'am. Sir or ma'am.